Welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here, your Tom's River host. It's a warm weekend's coming up. We're coming into the election. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to do some endorsements. We're going to do some township endorsements. We're going to do some state endorsements. Basically, governor and Roderick's council people will be doing endorsements there. I'm going to explain why I'm doing the endorsements for these particular candidates. We're also going to talk about the third rail that Mayor Roderick decided to step on. That's the eminent domain for the church. Yeah, nothing like fast-tracking yourself into hell by fooling with a church. A very successful church, by the way, very big church. Not exactly sure. I think I could surmise why Dan Roderick wants to close that church now, because they're talking about building a 13-bed homeless shelter. And Roderick has had his fill of homeless situations in Tom's River, especially with people who aren't from Tom's River being in that homeless population. We're going to talk about finally they came up with an ordinance that the governor signed to prevent brawls, particularly in Seaside Heights, but it's also in malls, carnivals, that sort of thing. Anywhere you want to start a brawl, there's now a law aimed at young adults and children, juveniles, I should say. I want to talk about the electric bill hikes that started in June and all the little political games that are now involved in it, because they don't want to lose the elections in November. And we're going to talk about that brawls. It's caused some change in hours that'll be going into effect in Seaside Heights. They had a first reading on the ordinance to change the hours on the boardwalk. And the second reading, I think it's June 18th, I believe. But we'll get into all that when I come back. You're listening to the Tom's River Show. We're going to break for commercial. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here on the Tom's River Show on GGR. As I tell everybody on the other shows, the city shows or our governmental shows, tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your mom's friends, tell your nemesis, tell your aunt's friends. Download the Live 365 app where you can listen to GGR, and there's so much more other programming. Lots of music. If you're into music, lots of music on GGR. A lot of other different shows, talk shows, stuff in this vein. It's worth it, and it's free. And you like free. There's no tariffs on it. Not yet, anyway. So download it as quick as you can before Trump slaps a tariff on it. Endorsements. In Tom's River, the township of Tom's River. God's oasis there, Tom's River, right? Used to be Dover, now it's Tom's River. I assume there was a guy named Tom, and he had a river. That's how he came up with this name. There's a lot of South Tom's River. You got Dover, all part. Otley Beach is Tom's River. I don't know how that works. But here we go. I'm going to fully endorse the Dan Roderick ticket. I'm going with Lamb. I'm going with Byrne, I'm going with Aber, and Matarazzo. I keep pronouncing that wrong. I think I probably pronounced it wrong there. I want to give Roderick the sweep. The guy has cut the township's budget by $12 million. I do not know of any other budget, and I cover a lot of municipalities, especially the city of Jersey City, Hudson County. I keep an eye on what's going on in Ocean County. I don't know anybody who's cut the budget at all. Forget about $12 million. I don't know anybody's cut the budget by $12. Forget about $12 million. He's held the line on his taxes. Roderick has done everything he said he was going to do during his campaign. Roderick has cut his taxes. He said he was going to downsize Tom's River government. Done it. He held the line on development. To an obsession with him, he held the line, but that was his campaign. He promised you in Tom's River he would do that. And like 70% of you said, yeah, we want that. And that's why he got elected overwhelmingly. He's fought to hold the line on affordable housing, where the state is saying you got to build 600 and some odd units. You're not going to win that one, but he fought and he fought and he fought. He was like that ant pushing that big rock up a hill, you know? But then a big rock rolled over him. That was it. No more ant. But yeah, the best bet for the affordable housing is on Route 37, across from the Seaside House Furniture. For that matter, the carpet place is for sale. There's a vacant lot that used to be a motel there. Best thing for Roderick to do is eminent domain that land, because he loves using the eminent domain, and you're not fooling with God if you eminent domain that. You're just fooling with a carpet guy. You want to go after a church? Eternal damnation. Go after the carpet guy? What's going to happen? There's carpet. Go take the carpet land, the old motel land, and I think there's something in between there, eminent domain it, then build a high-rise, something with like 400 or 500 units of apartments. You finance it over 30 years. It'll probably cost you about $30 million to do. So over over 30 years, you got to pay $1 million. And you own the property. And remember, you're getting rent from the apartment. So you should be able to cover the nut. If not, you have to put in some property taxes into it. You can put all the affordable housing right there on Route 37. He doesn't want to put it in town or on the middle of town until you really don't have the property to do it. In Tom's River, this is probably the biggest chunk of property that you can use that you wouldn't turn into a park or something like that. This is a good industrial quality right on the highway. And there's homes there. It's not like we're putting these people on the outskirts of town. There's homes there. There's neighborhoods there. You're right off the bay. Yeah, that's really not a bad location. Probably the property is kind of expensive. But that's his best bet. Build it. Unfortunately, they will come. You build affordable housing. Amazing how many people want that affordable housing. Now in Jersey City, we keep people building affordable housing, and people from Brooklyn get it. They come over, hey, can't afford New York City. Jersey City got that affordable housing. Even if you consider $3,000 a month affordable. For that matter, I got to get into a situation, a guy I know, is on Section 8, like 60-some-odd years old. This guy bought a car recently, too. Section 8 wants to kick him out of his house where he's lived for 40 years, his apartment, because it's listed as a two-bedroom. It's been listed as a two-bedroom, I guess, forever. Now the Section 8 is saying, well, you got to get out of there. There's no other place for this guy to live in Jersey City. Jersey City, if you could get an apartment for $1,800 a month, you'd be amazed. There is nothing. I think you have to think the trunk of my Lincoln, I could get $1,800 a month. Maybe $22 if I put a porta potty next to it. I could probably get more money. So I got to get in. Mayor Phillips running for governor. I don't want to hit him with this right now because he's running for governor. On June the 11th, Mayor Phillip and I will be talking about this situation with the Section 8 people, Section 8 people here in Jersey City. But that is probably Roderick's best chance for the affordable housing. But getting back to the endorsement, the guy's done everything he said. There's no reason. I like having that lone wolf on the council just to be the voice of opposition. But in this case, when you knock the budget by $12 million, and I spoke to a former mayor who was like, I couldn't do that. Amazing he did that. He did it. Now, I assume there's no voodoo economics in there somewhere, but I'm assuming he cut it by 12. You got to go with this guy. Now, there's a guy, Robert Bianchini. He's running in Ward 1 against Lamb. Now, Lamb, unfortunately, Lamb just lost his father, a young guy who was in his 60s. Again, condolences to the Lamb family. I think Lamb's doing the job. Bianchini would do a good job also. But right now, when he announced that he's cut the budget by $12 million, that's it, super mayor. He's a rock star. You got to go with that. So he's the guy, and I tell you, there's going to be repercussions over this. If provided he doesn't step on that third rail of the church, I think it'll be all right. If Roderick pulls off this sweep of the 4 candidates in Tom's River, and Jack Citarelli, who I'm sure will win the Republican primary, but I was just texting with Jack Citarelli. I'm sure Jack will win. This is bad news for George Gilmore, because this will make Roderick, Mayor Dan Roderick of Tom's River, the Ocean County rock star. He'll be right up there with Bon Jovi. They'll name a rest area for him on the Parkway. It'll be the Dan Roderick rest area. He will be the rock star. And his next site is George Gilmore. Gilmore and Roderick. And I said this before he got elected. These two aren't going to work out together, and they're not. Gilmore, if Roderick wins the 4 seats and Citarelli wins the GOP, that weakens Gilmore severely. That may be a fatal. It's fatal if Roderick wins, because Citarelli is certainly going to side with Roderick, because Gilmore has been, since day one with Bill Spadea. Now, listen, I'm not knocking Bill Spadea. I don't know how he effed up his campaign, because he looked like he was the guy. And he must have had the Josh Gottheimer campaign book, because Gottheimer was the front runner at one time. And like, whoop, he disappeared. I don't know what happened to Gottheimer. Like, as I said before, it's like somebody grabbed him by the back of his collar and just ripped him back into fourth place. It'll be interesting. I'm predicting the Dem side that Gottheimer finishes fourth. We'll see. I might be wrong on that. He's not finishing first. This will be his first loss. Listen, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to the Tom Rivers Show here on GGR. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Tom Rivers Show. Pat O'Melia here on GGR. Don't forget, tell your friends, download that app. Live 365. You'll see it in the tweet. We put the little thing up where you scan it, take a picture of it with your phone, put it on your phone. You can listen to me on your phone, or your Alexa device, or your Siri device, whatever device, whatever smart speaker you have. For that matter, I got to reprogram my Alexa and my car outside. I was changing some of the adapters in there, so now I got to. And also, I got a new phone. My God, went to the Verizon store on Route 37 there by 166. So I dropped my phone. I'm so careless. And this is a good phone, too. I had it for like 4 years. I thought it was indestructible. Had a good case. Problem was, I'm sitting in the garage, and I had the phone open on my leg, and it fell off my leg, and it landed on the rubber of the garage door, where the door, when you close it down, it meets there to keep the water out. I figured, that's an easy one. That broke the glass. Other times, I dropped it, from buildings, and it wouldn't break the glass. This broke the glass. Then it started having catastrophic failures after a week or so. I was going to get the glass replaced. Good thing I didn't get the glass replaced. Tried to get a new phone, so I got what I felt was the cheapest Android phone I could get, because I was so mad at myself because I can't be trusted with anything good. So I got one on Amazon. Here, it's an Android, I don't know, number 20, whatever the hell it is. But it's like learning a new language. It seems to be the same, but there's just that little twist that makes it a nuisance, So I had to reprogram all my Alexa devices in my car. I probably have the record for Alexa devices. I got them everywhere. I even bought one for the bathroom. My wife said, "Dad, I'm not putting Alexa in the bathroom. But you want to listen to music, listen to news, it's a portable Alexa. I just got to charge it up. I can put it anywhere." Now she won't put it in the bathroom. We do have a radio now. All right, we did the local town again. 100% Roderick ticket. Go, 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 vote Roderick. But again, if you want to get a lone wolf in there, I don't have a problem with that. But the guy has been successful so far, and the balking of the minority, that 20% to 30% of the losing side, stop it. The guys, I will agree, Roderick should be quiet. Roderick should hire a guy to put his hand over his mouth. As soon as Roderick starts to talk, put a hand over his mouth. Because Roderick is his own worst enemy. He just can't, he has no bedside manner. He just can't say the right thing. You have to go to the sign people for the hearing impaired. You need someone just for Roderick, just to explain, translate for Roderick. And you want like mental telepathy. You don't even want him to talk. You just come up with it and you just tell him we're communicating telepathically and give an answer. Because as soon as Roderick opens his mouth, both feet go right in it. Apparently he's a great municipal government mayor. He's good at that. But he just shouldn't be allowed to talk to people. All right, let's go to the governor's race. All right, you got 11 candidates. I was just listening to this morning on NJ 101.5. This guy, I think it's in Fairview. He's the mayor of Fairview. He's got 1% polling numbers, Crackers or something like that. Oh, man, that's an interview that went off the rails there. This guy was just pounding away on Spadia, and Eric Scott is not listening to this. He goes, I just want you to answer questions. And he had one great question. Why are you running for governor? The guy couldn't answer that. But you have 11 candidates, and you really only have a few heavy hitters that, in the Republican side, it was Citarelli and Spadia. Forget about that now. Spadia got blasted out of there. On the Democratic side, it's the helicopter lady, Mikey Sherrill. No matter what commercial it's helicopter. For that matter, I text Steve Fulop yesterday, the day before. I said, Steve, to try to close this gap between you and Sherrill, is it possible you can learn how to fly a helicopter by Tuesday? He didn't get back to me. You got Sherrill, you got Fulop, you got Russ Baraka, mayor of Newark. Of course, Steve Fulop is the mayor of Jersey City. Josh Gottheimer, congressman. I'm forgetting somebody. Steve Sweeney. Oh, an old friend of mine. How would I forget Steve Sweeney? Boy, I had the window closed on Steve Sweeney. Good guy, too. It would make a good government, but time has passed him by. And it's guy Steve Spiller, who somehow got $40 million out of the teachers union. Teachers' hard-earned dues money was given to a guy that I had a better shot of winning the race for governor on the Democratic side than he did. Let him buy some friggin' crayons and paper. Don't take the $40 million and give it to this guy who just follows Steve Fulop around on billboards. All right, what I'm doing, I am endorsing the mayor of Jersey City, Steve Fulop, and matter of transparency, I've known Steve Fulop, I guess, 20-some-odd years. He ran originally against it was Congressman Robert Menendez Sr. But that meant, I think I was the first interview Steve Fulop ever did, where I informed him that he was on a suicide mission. You were not beating Robert Menendez. But Steve took his lumps. I think he lost about 60% of the vote, 65. It was a hell of a beatdown, but not for an entry level. Then Mayor Fulop, he's mayor now of Jersey City, ran for council, won 2 terms, donated his pay to charity for them 2 terms. Then he ran for mayor against a personal friend of mine, Jeremiah Healy, was the 2.5-time mayor. He won a special election after my friend Glenn D. Cunningham passed on in office, and then he won 2 terms after that. And Steve Fulop, I've known Steve all these years. It was like 2 of my buddies going at it. And Steve won. He's been the mayor of Jersey City. He's coming up on his 12th year. The last guy to win 3 terms in Jersey City was Frank Hague, who is a tremendous mayor, in my opinion. I can walk through Jersey City now and still see Frank Hague's fingerprint. And you'll say that about Stephen Fulop someday. You can walk around Jersey City and still see his fingerprints. He's a successful mayor. I believe he'll be a successful governor. Guy's been true to his word with me all these years, and we've had many words. We've been on different sides of issues. We've been on the same side, different side. Had some heated conversations over the years. So I'm asking you, the people of Ocean County and Toms River, to vote. If you're voting Democrat, and I know there's 5 or 6 of you there in Toms River that are Democrat. But I shouldn't say that, because when Roderick won as a councilman, he was a Democrat then. Then as soon as he got sworn in, he flipped that Bible over, said, I'm a Republican now. And he's been a Republican since. So there are Democrats there. I got Wyatt Earp. He heads up the Ocean County Democratic Committee. Hopefully he can get some votes out there for Stephen Fulop. On the GOP side, you're probably not going to be surprised I'm going to say that. I'm going to go with Jack Citarelli. Even though I didn't think he really had a chance in the beginning, running the 3rd time, even though he came close with Murphy. He came close within 3 or 4 points. And that's another thing. We'll talk about polls soon. Remember the polls with Citarelli last time? Murphy's up by 22 points. Murphy's up by 30 points. Murphy squeaked by about 3 points maybe in the general election. So Jack looks like a runaway winner against Bradrick and Bill Spadia. Well, I'm to Bill Spadia. I guess I don't know if he goes back to radio, because Eric Scott seems to be doing a pretty good job. And unless he wants to sit in with Judy there, I don't know. And Dominski and Moore are doing okay. For that matter, I was texting with Jack. I said, he's got an issue with 101.5, more of the morning crew than the whole station. There's a problem with the morning crew. I suggested that he call Dominski and Moore and speak to those guys. I think those are more inclined to be receptive to Jack Citarelli. For that matter, I think Dominski was talking about the last time Jack was running. There was a debate that was in the 101.5 studios, and Dominski was very impressed with Jack Citarelli. So that would be a good phone call for him. Now, polls are showing Steve Fulop is in 2nd place. For the longest time, Steve was in second place, about 5 points. The margin of error was 5 points. So it was statistically maybe they're tied. Then all of a sudden, Mikey Sherrill helicoptered in with this poll that showed her up by 30 points. Now, I keep joking about the helicopter was she keeps pounding me with it. Every commercial, helicopter, got the helicopter jacket on. I'm proud that she served. Thank you for your service. You know, we're trying to do away with helicopters over here in Hudson County. They're flying too low, and here we got the helicopter lady. But the poll numbers, I firmly think Steve Fulop has run the best campaign of all the Democratic candidates. Steve has been everywhere. He has worked his butt off. You know, whenever I talk to Steve, he's coming or going, or we're texting with him from a meet and greet. He has been all over. So I'm asking you, the people of Ocean County and Toms River, you know who you are. On the Democrat side, Stephen Fulop. On the Republican side, Jack Citarelli. And it would be a hell of a campaign. I will be right down the middle with these guys. And it'll be easy debates for me to go. Say, Steve, Jack, can you get in the studio? We'll do a debate here. I got the podium. I'll do a radio. I'll do TV. It doesn't matter to me. And I'll tell you about polls. Let me give you one thing. Polls, like I said with the Murphy polls a while back, really aren't a good indicator anymore. Trump, the polls had Trump bad. I kept saying if Trump's within 2 or 3 percentage points of Harris, he wins. Boom, he wins in overwhelmingly. Money, like the racetrack. Win, place, and show. Uber. Yes, Uber. The car ride share service, and people mainly use it now for food. Everybody Ubers their food in. They donated $1 million to a PAC that supports Steve Fulop, $500 to a PAC that supports Mikey Sherrill, and $500,000 to a PAC that supports Jack Citarelli. There's your polls. Uber is betting that Fulop is finishing first. They're hedging their bets with Sherrill in the 2-hole in the show, and on the Republican side, they're all in with Citarelli. It's really, I don't know what happened. Spady imploded there. But that's it. That's who I'm asking you to vote for. Now, electric. Your electric bill's gone up in June, but you haven't seen it yet because their politicians are playing games. They're asking, the BTU said, hold off on these increases until the day after Election Day, if you would, please, because we don't want this getting out in the public in black and white on their bill that our horrible, horrible energy practices failed. And no surprise to anybody if you listen to me or 101.5 or whatever radio stations or if you read anything, we all said the wind farms ain't going to work. They're crazy. We got to be fully electric by 2035. Ain't going to work. These are not reliable sources of energy. Nuclear. Yes, nuclear is a reliable source. Natural gas, even coal now. It's a lot cleaner and buffers. But nuclear, and they got these like pocket nuclear plants now. That's the way we should go. The United States shouldn't be sucking wind for energy anywhere. Gasoline, we got a lot of oil. Nuclear, we could build this. We shouldn't be in this situation, but Trenton did this. Trenton caused this, and now you're going to pay for it. And they know they caused it. So now they're saying, hold off on these increases, or we may be all out of a job. You probably will be. It'll be interesting to see how this election goes. More the general election than the primary. You're going to vote for somebody on the Democratic side. But come the general election, I'd be pounding away with that information from Public Service and NJ Jersey Light and Gas, all those energy companies. I'd be pounding away if I'm a Republican there. The Brawl Law. Oh, let me take a break. Let me go to commercial, then we'll talk about the Brawl Law. You're listening to the Toms River Show here on GGR. I'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets. Price to fit your budget. Installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City. 201-792-2712.
We're back. Tom Dribble Show here on GGR. Pat O'Melia. The Brawl Law. Murphy signed it. It's putting some teeth into the enforcement on the boardwalk in carnivals and in malls, that sort of thing. And it was a really bad situation. Mayor Vaz in Seaside Heights said it's the worst he ever seen it in 59 years that he's been in Seaside Heights. He's a Patterson guy. They moved down to Seaside about 59 years ago. The worst he's ever, I don't know if it was the worst brawl-wise. There was some stabbings. There was a gun recovery. There were always fisticuffs on the boardwalk, especially during 4th of July and Labor Day, that sort of thing. Tommy Boyd could handle all that. But they weren't bringing knives and guns on the boardwalks. That's when it became a problem. And the other problem is you tied the hands of law enforcement on how to deal with juveniles and young adults. That's being cleared up now. Now they'll be able to deal with it. And unfortunately, the innocent gets hurt when idiots show up. Again, the idiots are the ones that bring guns and knives. They're punching and yelling at each other. Tommy Boyd can handle that. Chief Boyd, not a problem. He'll drag your ass in, put you in that fine little holding cell, and hit you for $800 and a court appearance. And you'll go to court. Win or lose, you're still at the $800. That's how they used to fund themselves in Seaside Heights. That controlling the boardwalk is not a problem for Seaside Heights Police and, of course, Chief Tommy Boyd and his police farm. It's tying their hands. You untie their hands, believe me, Tom Boyd will make it safe. And it will be safe this weekend and going forward with Tommy Boyd and the law being signed by the governor. What's bad about this is now we're going to change the hours of the boardwalk. I just had the first reading in the borough of Seaside Heights where they're going to adjust the hours. The boardwalk will start closing during the week at 10 p.m. Now, it's not too bad, I guess, but you're cutting like 4 hours out of these businesses. You're there with your girl on Thursday night. You want to win a Cupid doll, or you want to take her to Beachcomber, have some drinks and some pizza. You got to get off the boardwalk at 10. We're hurting these businesses. And a lot of these businesses, they really depend on the season. It's like farmers. If the crop doesn't come in, the year is gone. If they don't, they're bad enough they got to deal with weather. Now they have to deal with the stupid brawls. But now you're going to cut the hours. So I'm going to talk to Mayor Vaz about that. Again, we're hurting the innocent. On holidays, on Friday and Saturday during the summer, the boardwalk will close at 1 a.m. in the morning. On 4th of July, 10 p.m. And I'm sure there'll be a swarm of cops to chase you out of there. All the major holidays, that'll be 10 p.m. And like I said, again, the idiots that want to fight on the boardwalk, let Tommy Boyd handle them. Tommy Boyd will handle them without a problem. The real problem is guns and knives. But you want to be stupid on the boardwalk? Tommy Boyd and the police, they specialize in stupid people. You want to be stupid? Come on down. Tommy will take care of that for you. But hurting the businesses, that's the wrong way to go. What you want to do is you want to find the hell out of the people that are brawling. And again, put them in the cell, $800. They probably raise the price, maybe $1,000 down. And go after the bad, non-owner occupied properties that people are renting out. Where you're riding by and you see a balcony with 20 kids on it. That's not right. That person didn't give a damn because they're not there. And if you damage their property, they'll get it out of their the security, that sort of thing, the deposits you put down. My kids rent an Airbnb. We make sure someone's there. We had a situation a couple weeks ago where somebody was going to drop off 4 high school kids, and we shot that down. And we actually hit the penalty on that. We kept half the rent, only because they were going to drop 4 high school kids off on us down there. Bad actors who own their investment properties, they're the problem. Don't hurt the boardwalk people. Don't hurt the good people. Go after the ones that caused the friggin' problem. All right, we're at a show. Remember, the Roderick ticket on June 10th. Stephen Fulop on the Democrat side for governor. Jack Citarelli on the Republican side for governor. I'll talk to you later. You be good. You be safe. I'll see you on the boardwalk. Good night.